Welcome back to another episode of Pulse on the Market. I'm your host, Jaden Vrains, founder of Vrains Capital, and this is the show designed to help you guys stay in the loop with stuff crypto, stock market, geopolitical news, whatever it be, stuff that's going to help you make better, more educated financial decisions. That's the goal here. So let's get right into it for today. So we saw that yesterday, just a little market recap, the S&P 500 and NASDAQ. They surged to record highs. So this was fueled by just the tech gains and optimism over easing inflation. We had hints at a rate cut later in the year, but the Fed, Powell said that they're waiting for more information before making a decision like that. So they're gathering info, and before they make any rational decisions, just for the people, right? And they're trying to do what's best for the country as well. I firmly believe that. All right, let's see. Novo Nordisk, one of the drug manufacturers, passed up Tesla. So would you look at that? Tesla's been doing terrible, and they've been doing great. So this is in market value, by the way. And they have become the 12th most valuable company worldwide with a market cap of $604 billion. So go Novo Nordisk. They're right up there with Eli Lilly, sorry. And speaking of Eli Lilly, so there was a drug decision. The FDA has delayed its decision on Eli Lilly's Alzheimer's drug. It's called donanemab. Donanemab. It's Donanemab. I have no idea how to pronounce that, but so they're opting for further review by an independent panel, postponing the potential market launch. So this caused Lilly to drop a couple percent today. They're down to 763. Because any news regarding the pharmaceutical market, it causes it to rise a lot or drop a lot. So it is higher risk. I wonder what the beta is for Lilly. In case you don't know, beta is just a beta of 1 is the market. So if it's 1.5 for a stock, that means if the market goes up $1, technically that stock should rise 1.5. It just shows how volatile the stock is compared to the market. And so stocks like pharmaceuticals and are usually tend to have a higher, like tech stocks as well, have a higher beta, where like utilities or stuff like that have a lower beta. All right, let's see. Let's see here. So NYCV, I told you guys about that last episode. So New York Community Bank Corp, they received $1 billion in funding to basically stabilize and stay afloat, and because we don't need another Lehman Brothers incident, please no. So they reported a 7% loss in deposits over the past month. Obviously, they're losing client trust, right? And leading to a dividend cut to 1 cent per share. So that's not a good look for the program. No one really wants a 1 cent dividend. That's pretty much nothing. Jeez. So NYCV is not looking too hot. They had one day where it's like the dead cat bounce, right? Where it popped up 25%, only went to around $4 a share. But it's just been getting hammered so hard that doesn't really matter in the long run. All right, let's see here. So Broadcom, they anticipate $10 billion in revenue from AI-related chips in 2024, but the stock dipped because they had a post-announcement where they basically projected underwhelming full-year forecast for their sales, EPS, whatever it be. So it's just an underwhelming forecast. That guidance has a huge impact on the stock, even if they perform well after their earnings. So let's actually see how they did. So Broadcom, they had a revenue of $11.96 billion, which is 34% year over year. They beat it by $251 million, and an EPS of $11 per share, and that's up 6% year over year. So they beat that by 70 cents a share. It's not half bad. Costco, revenue of $58 billion, so they're up 5.75% year over year. They missed the estimate by $718 million, but they beat the EPS by 9 cents a share. They reported 3.71. That's up 12% year over year. Not half bad. All right, Marvel Technology, they also reported revenue of $1.4 billion, which is up 0.56 year over year. Not too great. And then the EPS was in line with estimates at 0.46. So, in regards to earnings report, that's pretty much it. Like, there's companies like Oracle, let's see here, Dollar Tree, Adobe. So there are still decent stocks, Ulta Beauty, that are coming out with earnings reports. Dick's as well will come out. But yeah, nothing too good here. We're around 97% down here, so I'm excited for next earnings season. It's always very entertaining. I love watching it. All right. So let's see here. All right. Sorry, guys, I'm gathering my information. I never went over how the indexes are doing today. So the Dow is up 0.18%, the Nasdaq is down 0.9%, and the S&P is down 2.2%. So it started off better than that, but then we saw stocks like Nvidia. Believe it or not, they hit 2.4 trillion earlier today in market cap. That is insane. Right now they're at 2.2, and because we see this all the time out of Nvidia, they start the day hot and then they just start dropping like crazy. So they're quite in tandem. I was watching them and SMCI Super Microcomputers, and they were trading just about in tandem today. It was very interesting to watch. When one stock jumped, the other one jumped as well, and they kind of just followed each other. So Nvidia hit an all-time high at 970-ish, a little higher than that today. Now it's at 890, so it's been getting hit. And Super Microcomputers was at around 1228-ish, and now they're down to 1114. That shows how volatile SMCI is. They have a beta of 2, which is very high. And I mean, Nvidia's around 1.8. What are they at? Let me check it. It disappeared. I did have it. There it is. Yeah, 1.8 for their beta. And so these are two volatile stocks, 100%. And right now, Nvidia does have a huge sway on the market. If they're doing well, then typically the entire market tends to do well. And they're kind of bullying the market just because of how much volume they have. So their average volume is for the 30-day average is 53 million, and they've already hit 64 for today. So we've seen a lot of people trading Nvidia right now. It's been going crazy lately. All right, so a little update. The reason why the market was doing well, I believed it was because of the February jobs report. So despite expectations of a slowdown in the labor market, U.S. employers added 275,000 jobs in February. So while this is true, the unemployment rate did rise slightly to 3.9%. So not bad, but we did add 275,000 jobs, which that's pretty impressive. Even though we're seeing a bunch of bad companies laying people off, still we're seeing people getting added into there. They're just getting relocated, repurposed, right? So in remarks to a Senate committee yesterday, Fed Chair Powell hinted at potential interest rate cuts coming soon, stating that the Fed is not far from cutting rates if inflation signals cooperate. There you have it. That's what investors were looking at. I'm surprised that the stock market hasn't been doing better today, especially with that news, because everyone wants a rate cut, 100%. So, and he said it's not far. If these inflation signals continue to improve a little bit, we saw that the last CPI report was better than expected, and that just the year-over-year inflation was dropping. So that is what we like to see. We're trying to get back into that 2 range. That's the goal for the government. So yeah, that's pretty big news. All right. So TikTok, believe it or not, almost got a U.S. ban. So they opposed a bill threatening a U.S. ban. Let's click on the article here. So they're having quite a bit of companies because they're afraid of data breach. They don't want the Chinese to have the data, right? And so I wouldn't be surprised if they ended up banning it. I really doubt it. There's so many users in the U.S. of TikTok, so many hours being watched. I'm sure they'll come to a consensus on it or whatnot. But yeah, TikTok just is way too popular. That would be very bad to just cancel it out of nowhere. All right, sweet. Well, crypto, once again, I hate that crypto does this honestly, but Bitcoin hit another all-time high today. It was all the way up to, let's pull it up. I want to get the exact number for you guys. It was over 70,000 though. All right. So it was at over 70,000, around 70,200 at 8:30 this morning. And then just at, let's see, at 9:10, it was down to 66,000. So that's crypto for you. We can see an all-time high, and then immediately after it drops $4,000. That's Bitcoin for you. And right now it's back up to 68,000. So man, you could day trade Bitcoin and make quite a bit of money. I'm not gonna lie, but yes. So we're gonna see volatility out of it. There's just so much news around it. The spot ETFs are growing. The market cap for for crypto in general is growing a lot, but Bitcoin still is 55% of the crypto market with a market cap of 1.3 trillion. So, I mean, for crypto is over 2 trillion, but Bitcoin still dominates. And while Bitcoin dominates, we're still going to see volatility out of it. And just if that goes up, then the entire sector goes up. Same going down. It's very influential with the overall market. But once we see that crypto begins to grow and more technology advances and it becomes more technologically advanced to use it and more simplified for users, then we could see different sectors start to develop, and then Bitcoin won't affect everything as it does right now. So that is it for today. Just a reminder, everyone, to not cut your wins too early. You got to let those puppies ride. And a lot of people will let their losers just keep on striding, and they'll just keep taking losses. But then once they get like a 10%, or not even like a 1% profit, then they kind of freak out. They don't want to lose it, hold on to their baby, and they lose even more. And then they sell, and they theoretically lose out on a lot of gains. So just a reminder to cut losses and let those winners win. But that is it for today. Keeping it short. Not too much going on right now. And I'm sure tomorrow we'll have a lot more news stuff out for you guys. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, if you want me to do a detailed analysis of a stock, just reach out to me at marketpulse.io. I will get back to you as soon as I can. And I will include it in the next show. Once again, this podcast is for informational purposes only, and it's not financial, investment, or legal advice. So this is all opinions, experiences, and your advice to connect your own research and seek the advice of qualified professionals before making any investment decisions. So this could all be wrong, inaccurate, all the information shared, and I'm not responsible for any actions that you take based off the podcast. It's all risky, especially crypto, but I love it. And past performance is not indicative of future results, and I'm not responsible for any loss or damage that may occur as a result of you investing after listening to this podcast. Love you guys. Thank you for listening. Have a phenomenal weekend, and I will see you guys on Monday.